So I went to EPCOT. I went to Disney World. I wanted to walk with my family into EPCOT on my own. Disney is my jam. Though the last 30 years or so, the only way I've been able to go into Disney was on a scooter, an electric wheelchair. When I would go to Disney before and I was in the scooter, as I got fatter and fatter, I was unable to even go to the parks at all. And you can hear in my talking right now about my love for Disney. And not only why I wear a lot of Disney clothes right now is because they fit. For all those years that I was 350, 380, 400 pounds, I couldn't wear anything Disney. So now I'm like making up for lost time. But it was really difficult when my family would go and I could not go, because for the 10 years or so before I started Trulicity, which is a GLP-1, in 2022, I was bedridden for about 10 years. I could not move out of my bed without a walker, going even to the bathroom. I couldn't clean my room very well. It was just so difficult. So to have my family go to Disney, I couldn't go. Even with an ECV, even with an electric wheelchair, I could not physically go. And if I ever did, I would only go for a couple of hours. I'd have to go lie down in the first aid, and then I would have to collapse for days afterwards. Because and that's what's so odd, is I wasn't even using my body. I wasn't even doing anything except for sitting on a wheelchair. And still, I was so exhausted. And that's part of what I did when I was at home alone all the time, was I slept. And now I don't sleep much anymore. And I love that. So when I got there, I came with my daughter, and she parked at the beach club out in the parking lot. In all my life, I don't think anywhere in my life that I have been going to Disney did I ever park in a parking lot and have to walk somewhere. So here we are at the beach club, way out in the middle of nowhere, walking with the two grandkids and my daughter. And I walked, and it was just wild. It was so wild to be walking, and I loved it. When I have been at Disney before, I did not fit. I was usually between 350, 360, 370, and there were many rides I could not fit on for a very, very long time, and that was difficult. But when we went that day, on October 20th of 2024, I was able to get on any ride I wanted to. Any ride I wanted to, and I did. I fit on Soarin'. I fit in the land. I fit anywhere that we went, and it was so wonderful. I loved it. So here's my shirt. And I thought about it for a long time, about what to put on the shirt. And Disney's magic and GLP-1s said something on the bottom. I can't even remember because my fanny pack covered it up. And then on the back it said, I've lost 200, first it said 225 pounds. And we crossed that out and put 255 pounds because that's how much it was. And then EPCOT Walk 2024 on the back. I was not expecting to get a lot of notice, but I got some notice, and that was really cool. There were people smiling and pointing when I was coming towards them. And then from behind me, where it said I had lost so much weight, people would tap me on the shoulder and say congratulations. And what was really interesting is I got to hear everybody that tapped my shoulder, I got to hear about their weight loss story. I've tried to lose the same 20 pounds for 50 years. I've tried to lose 80 pounds this month, blah, blah, blah. And it was really, really nice to talk to other people and know that they were doing the same struggle I had always done as well. The reason I wrote GLP-1s on there is I'm working hard to destigmatize those of us who take GLP-1s. I don't want us to have to apologize. I don't want us to have to defend ourselves. I want us to be able to stand proud with our GLP-1, that we take it so that our life can be extended and our life can be happy and I can walk at Disney. When I went to Disney before, when I went to any of the parks before, I was in the electric wheelchair, I was in the scooter. I couldn't ride most of the rides. It was all geared towards eating. Everything was geared towards eating. When I went this time, it was an interesting viewpoint, literally a viewpoint, that on the scooter, I looked at everybody's waist. And then I was upright when I was, tall. I'm 5'1", so I'm not that tall, but I was tall enough to be able to see people. And that was a really interesting difference. And I liked that, but I really liked being ambulatory without having to careen around people or beep the horn and say, excuse me, or things like that. It just was really different this time, and it was so much fun. Usually, when we went to the parks, if we were going to go to Disney, we would plan the entire time that we were going to be there, whether it was a day or a week. We would plan every single step that we took would be leading towards food. And it was so different this time. I didn't even think, and it was the Food and Wine Festival. And I didn't even think about eating until I could feel myself getting kind of dizzy and thinking, ooh, I haven't eaten in a long time. I was having so much fun. The last thing I thought about was eating, which is probably the most surreal thing that happened and as it's coming out of my mouth, I can't even believe it, that I did not think about eating. I had a wonderful little guacamole thing all by myself. It was wonderful. And food was just not the issue. I was really excited to walk all day, but I didn't think about my back because when my back starts to hurt, I tend to lie down at home. My back, because I've been overweight and fat and extremely fat most of my life, my spine is actually smushed together, and I have 8 bulging discs and all kinds of things, pre-herniations, blah, blah, blah. So I needed to take a break, and I was actually going to go home. And my daughter Megan said, why don't you go to first aid and lie down for a while? I thought, that's a good idea. Now, previously, when I'd gone to Disney, even in the wheelchair, in the scooter, I'd have to go to first aid to go take a nap for 2 or 3 hours because I could not make it through the day. But this time I went and I was given an ice pack and I laid down in first aid on a wonderful table and I meditated for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I was totally rejuvenated. And I went and kept walking, and it was great. I walked 6-point-something miles. It was close to 6.5, almost 7 miles. And in my entire life of my world, I have never walked probably even 5 miles, much less 6, and certainly not 7 miles in a day. Never, ever, ever. And now today, right after October 20th, I started walking 4 and 4.5 miles each day. So I was prepping before, and now I'm prepping for something else. Oh, I am one tired chica. I am tired. I tell you what. Oh, it's been a day. I need to look and see. I didn't even check to see how many miles I walked, but it was a lot. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Trying to do this all at one time. Nope, don't put my finger over the thing. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm making you dizzy. Let's see here. I walked 16,803 steps. 6.51 miles. True stuff. I walked 6 miles. I've never walked 6 miles in my life. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Things are good. I had a wonderful day. I'm so tired. I want to go to bed. But you know, I do have to tell you that there was one period that my back hurt really, 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 really bad. So my daughter told me, go to first aid and go lie down and put an ice pack on my back. And I did. I went and it was wonderful. I laid there for about 30 minutes or so. I did some meditation, and that helped a lot. My feet hurt a little, but not as much as I expected them to. I really thought that they would hurt a whole lot more. But yeah, I'm here, and it's all good. I had a beautiful day with my 2 daughters, my son-in-law, my 5 grandbabies. It was just so much fun. And then yesterday too at the Airbnb, we had such a wonderful time all together too. So this is it. I'm signing off for tonight. After that day, I knew that I wanted to go to Disney a lot more, even by myself. Disney is so much fun. I mean, you know, oh, sorry, hit the microphone as usual. But I am asking for an annual pass for Christmas or my birthday, which is in March. And I would absolutely love to go to Disney. I could go every day and never be bored. So yes, I've got lots of plans to go back.